definitely check out the event. Black Women Made Whole is a ultimate wellness experience that we're hosting on March 15th at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time. So you guys can join us. We're going to be over on AirMeet. The tickets are free, and we invite you all out. It is a women's event. We haven't had any men to register, but I think it should, we may have some male vendors, but we don't have any male attendees. And I'm not gonna say we're okay with that, but it is a women's event, just to let y'all know that part. So before I bring Tami in, I love to know where you guys are watching from, so you can drop that in the comments. Hey there, Chef D. I was about to say Mr. Dunny. I'm thinking of somebody else. How you doing? So while you all are leaving where you're watching from in the comments, I'm going to take a minute to share this broadcast because I want my network to know that I do this too. So just a minute. It's crazy how I can always see everybody else post and notifications, but I never see my own. Okay, today is really being a day. But now that we have that shared, and hi there, Matilda from South Africa. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm gonna go ahead on and bring Tami in now. I just didn't want to have her just sitting there like that, but just a minute. Greetings.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. So, guys, this is Tami. She has joined us before, but for those who may not remember, Tami, can you kind of introduce yourself just so they can get more familiar with you?
Absolutely. My name is Tami Curry. I'm a curator of Image Dream Brand. At Image Dream Brand, we curate goat milk shampoo, conditioners for your hair, skin, and your body. So that's us in a nutshell. And we pretty much drive our success amongst inner healing and growth and confidence and beauty and all those good things.
I love it. So what's new with Image Dream? I noticed that you've been leveraging your press features. I saw, was it a Voyage feature that you recently had?
Yes. Actually, I have one more that I forgot I needed to post. But what's new with Image Dream? I love that question. So we've been meeting our marks in terms of engagement and our online presence. And that was one of our goals for this year. I said, just trying to prioritize our goals, and that was one of them. And so I'm happy to announce that we have been hitting our marks in terms of engagement and seeing those numbers increase on our social media platform. And so we decided to do, leverage press to kind of extend our reach a little bit. So have you, like, I'm here on your portfolio or profile. What do you call it? Your platform. So in effort to extend our reach, because beauty is everywhere, and like I say, our goal and our mission is to let people know and aware, have them aware of, it's okay to have certain struggles that we struggle with, and sometimes leaning into them, and it just, you come out more beautiful on the other side. So that's pretty much our message.
Well, I like that because people, leaning in can be kind of difficult a lot of the times. It's like the last resort. But when you think about, like, I always tell myself, the only way around is through. Like, so you might as well go ahead on and lean in and just, take care of whatever it is that's there. So how have you been preparing your business for growth? I know that you've mentioned that about, just the interacting, more engagement with your audience, which I think is really good for business. I think oftentimes business owners may not pay that any attention, but really we need to be, because that's how we get our feedback. That's how oftentimes the people will spread the word or referrals when they see that you're an engaging brand. So what have you been doing to prepare for growth?
Really, again, just continuing to focus on humanizing our brand. So been doing research and development on different innovative ways that we could implement to further the growth, to further the business, the brand, and its messaging, increasing our marketing efforts, things of that nature, of course, to reach wider audiences. That is something that we've been strategically doing, and just really looking for different ways to grow the business, and looking at competition and things that are out there, what they're doing, and the feedback, and just kind of testing, being out there in the field, putting our ears to the ground, and just figure out what's going on, what the people need, what they want, what is it that they're missing, and how can we solve those problems. So that's pretty much what we've been focused on.
Yeah, and if I always say if you can solve a problem, you're already one step ahead. Especially
Oh
when we get
yes,
the problem that we know of ourselves as the business owner. Like it seems like when we know what the problem is, we've experienced it, then that allows us to produce a better result because it's more. I
yes.
think it's more personable to us or something.
I
So,
agree. I totally agree with that, Fancy. 100%.
so what tips can you share for businesses that are considering scaling their business?
I would say for businesses, consider scaling, and for individuals who are looking to go into business and entrepreneurship, just to again have a clear vision about what it is that you want your brand to look like. What's the messaging? Just have a clear vision, and what we've been doing, what we're going to be rolling out, is different training programs, e-courses, e-books. We're actually developing a mentorship program right now. So everything that we're doing, of course, is just to pay it forward. That's always been my bottom line, is to pay it forward. And so that's why we do what we do. And so we just try to find other ways to do that, and get that reach out there, just so have that increased brand awareness as well.
So, with the books the ebooks and the courses, are these going to be all like beauty related, like for beauty entrepreneurs, or I'm just
It's going to be a
curious.
little bit of both. It's going to be a little bit of both. So me as a whole, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for about 3.5 years. What people may not also know is I'm a real estate investor. And so me
Mhm.
as a whole, as a personal person, so on one side, there's that real estate education, how to do flips and things like that. And then of course the beauty industry, how to get your products on Walmart.com, because that's where we are. We are on Walmart.com. We actually just partnered up with Walmart.com Canada. So we're
Oh,
we're worldwide, okay? And
congratulations.
thank you. I really appreciate that. So that's just pretty much the bulk of it, just trying
Gotcha.
to stay focused in that area and keep going, really, and don't
Girl, it
stop.
sounds like you be doing a lot though.
I do a
Just
lot. I don't know if you saw that video I had posted the other day. That my sister asked me, "How do you do it all?" And barely. She barely does it all, but I am doing it. And on days where it's hard, I acknowledge, hey, I'm having a tough day. This is tough. I may just go take a nap today. I don't want to do anything else but unplug. So it's really just again about leaning in and just being transparent and honest with myself on days where it's hard and I just can't. I just can't push through it. And so just finding ways to reset, and sharing that information and knowledge will come in the ebooks and the trainings and things like that, because it all, will help a successful brand continue being what it is, just by leaning in and continue to humanize your brand and things of that nature, because it's people behind the brand.
And it's so funny that you said that about humanizing, which just reminded me, I did not share our flyer for this broadcast on my page, but I was going to share that today. And then I also have a reel where I'm talking about, 4 ways to humanize your brand on social media.
Yes,
So, so
I
I
saw
see that we're
that.
thinking on the same page. So that's really cool then. Okay. So you are also one of our I Want My Queens to Heal sponsors for Black Women Made Whole. What made you take part in this event?
You know what, Fancy? That event reminded me of, so I used to do group meetings in my home when I lived in Colorado. And there was this one group meeting that we call Power Thought Table Talk for Women. And so what we'll do, we'll meet once a week in my home. It could be, strangers, people that I know. But I would pretty much, they would register on meetup.com. I don't know if you've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would come over, and then we would just kind of discuss the challenges that we've had that current week, and set affirmations on what we want the tone for our following week to look like. And so
Mm-hmm.
that reminded me of that. And so I had to sponsor. I couldn't let it pass me up. I've actually been looking for brands to sponsor for about a year and a half now as an entrepreneur, and I haven't been able to do that until yours came up, and so I had to.
Well, thank you. And, I'm glad to hear that. And also thank you for the sponsorship because those sort of things are very important. Like, sidebar, y'all, but, as media, we do make our money through sponsorships and advertisement. And I think people just kind of think that we just out here just doing this totally for free, but it's not all for free.
Right.
So, so we do need those type of assistance with events and so on. So, and just even with saying that, why do you think though that it's important for business owners to partner with other businesses or participate in sponsorships of this sort?
Relationships, building and curating relationships outside of the ones that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you're going to extend your growth, not just as a brand, but as a person. When you are getting to know other people, getting to know their brands and their stories, because, I'm not the only businesses out here, right? And so partnering up with Swagger Magazine, first of all, it's a no-brainer. It's Swagger Magazine for one. Okay, and so you offer a lot of services and things of that such that businesses need in order to again extend their exposure, and so and expand their reach. And so that's why it was important. It's important for me to do sponsorships and partnerships. It's just kind of build that foundation of relationship, really, essentially.
Yeah, and I agree. And they do like with events, you always kind of meet and connect with people. I love doing events because that allows us to meet the people that are within our network that we normally, it's normally like the communication is almost one-sided by us having a website or a
Yes,
social media, but then you actually get to get that one-on-one interaction. And it's always like, you learn so
refresh.
much. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
I
So
agree.
I
Very
agree.
refreshing. It's like, you get to learn more from others. Like, I had that same struggle in business, or I went through that same thing in life. How did you accomplish it? How did you overcome it? And so learn, just hearing people's stories, you can take those stories with you and
Hmm.
utilize it in business or share it with someone else who might need it. And so that was another reason why it was very important to sponsor Black Women Made Whole. Because of course, like you said, it's a magazine. You're not out there doing it for free. You're doing the Lord's work, but you still got to get paid.
Right. And also, just even when you said something about curating the relationships, and I was just like,
Mhm.
Tammy is the master curator, y'all. You see her
Oh,
name, her title is even curator, but even still, just noting, like since we connected with the first podcast, like our relationship has grown since then, and I appreciate that.
thank
Just
you.
I do think that it is important that we work on our relationships with people. And I had to learn it. I didn't learn it until late in the game because I used to be kind of standoffish, but I realized like I wasn't growing because I wasn't connecting to other people. Like people have to know that you're approachable. So I've even had to work on that in the past, like personally. But switching gears though a little, we just kind of mentioned Black Women Made Whole. But what did you think of? Well, you kind of answered that in a sense when you mentioned that
What?
about I was gonna ask, like, what do you think of when you think of Black Women Made Whole? Like, what comes to mind?
What comes to mind when I hear Black Women Made Whole? Holistic, alternative medicine, alternative healing.
Hmm.
A group of women who are leaning in and wanting to grow and wanting to thrive. And of course, acknowledging that there's some growth there needed, there's some healing there needed. So that's what I think about Black Women Made Whole. It's just complete transparency and honesty with yourself and say, hey, I need some healing. I need additional resources. And so
Yeah.
that's what I think about when I hear Black Women Made Whole.
And I love that. Like I said, the name just kind of came to me. The whole idea just kind of came to me in spirit. But
I love it.
I've just still been trying to define it myself. But every time I think, I kind of think of something new. So even with what you just said, like I never thought about the holistic aspect of it, but that is a part of it. Like, you know what? I didn't even think about that. But I love that too. So from my understanding, you used to do Reiki in a group. Would you tell us more about that and what is Reiki and how did you discover it?
So Reiki is a Japanese healing mythology, and they use their hands and universal life force energy, which essentially is love, which is all around us, and they channel healing into different energy portals of your body. And how I stumbled upon Reiki, honestly, it had to been a dream, for the most part. In terms of what I do and how I try to push through things have come to me in dreams. I was going through a divorce several years ago, and I just somehow picked up Reiki because I was just looking for all kinds of different ways to heal. And it was a very dark place for me during that time. And so when Reiki came about, I studied it, I practiced it for a very long time, and I loved it. And I still use it from time to time, just not, with others in other group settings. But
And
that's what
actually, I've heard more than one practitioner kind of say they don't like do the groups anymore.
yeah.
It's the transference of energy, or it takes a lot of
Yes.
energy.
Yes. Very much so. So I'm empathetic. I'm very empathetic, and so I'm very sensitive to
Mm-hmm.
energy and things of that sort. And so when I was doing it, as I was studying it, and excited to help others on their journey, I it's you have to remember to cleanse yourself as well after each healing. You have to remember to reset. And so those things along the way is just like I was just so excited about it. I'm just going on to the next thing. And so it
Mm-hmm.
became very draining. And so I kind of lost that passion to do it with others, because I'm like, okay, it's affecting my personal life. So I had to kind of choose me in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love it. It's very helpful. It has helped me. And so I would encourage anyone, if there's any additional resources, just research it. Reiki, again, it's a Japanese mythology for healing. And so it helps me a lot.
Okay. So other than that, because you mentioned that you discovered it while going through your divorce, was
Yes.
there any other like personal healing that you had to do in order to grow your business that you can share with us?
You couldn't tell now, but I'm going through something right now. It's just seemed like to me on my journey, it's like, okay, you've healed from that. Let me give you something else. And so I've learned to not say, okay, well, what else you got? I've learned to not ask those questions. Okay. And so just being able to, I'm an energy person. And so in order for my business to grow, in order for me to grow personally, I cannot have that energy stagnant within me.
Mhm.
I have to let it move around. And so in order to do that, I have to get up. I need to go and do my walks. I need to do my meditations. I need to do my prayers. I need to write. I need to affirm. It's a da, 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 So I need to do all of those things. And so that's how it helps in your business, because you can't show up in your business if you can't show up in your personal life. And so
Mhm.
one thing that I do when, if there's issues to where I have challenges, I kind of stay to myself a bit, because of course I don't want to spill those things off on other people. So I stay focused and I stay locked in on what the goal is. And, I come out even stronger. But yeah, I'm healing through something right now, and it is what it is.
Wow. And I can relate to all of that. And you even made me think, because I know I'd be like, God, what's next? I'm gonna cut that out.
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
stop asking
No,
it.
I don't ask no more.
And also, I like what you said about if you can't show up in your personal life, you can't show up in your business. That I think that's a good takeaway,
Yeah.
right there for everyone to pay attention to right there. So, is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up the interview? And I'm gonna put the banners across the bottom of the screen, guys, for you all to see how to connect with Tami as well.
I just look forward to Black Women Made Whole on the 15th of March. Guys, it starts at 6 p.m. It's a 3-hour event, Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
A
Uh-huh.
3-hour
We may
event.
finish up a little early, but just to make certain that we had enough time.
Okay, cool. So y'all can just go to the link and register. It's on Swagger Magazine. It's also on my social media as well. And definitely register. The purpose of this event is for women like me, women like you as well, Fancy. So we need those additional resources to help us out, because no one's coming, right? We have to curate this healing for ourselves. that's the only way that we could continue forward in our goals, in our mission, and our purpose in life. We have to tap into the resources that other people can bring, and that goes back to relationship as well. So I am looking forward to this event. And you wouldn't know, honestly, but I'm a real serial introvert. And I said this year I am going to get out of that. I set a goal. I said I'm going to be doing speaking engagements. I'm going to be doing this and doing that. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm putting my best foot forward, and I'm not allowing fear to define me. And so those are also nuggets that you're going to be able to take away from this event, to not allow fear to define who we are. And that's just be great. Like, I can go on all day. So I'm a reel it back in, because I can keep
Well,
going.
I'm looking forward to the event as well, and also the activity. So, guys, Tammy is going to be presenting for what is it, 20 minutes, and I don't have the itinerary laid out just yet, but we will be releasing it soon. I'm thinking, because we're having issues with our website, that we may just do a landing page so you guys can find out all the information. But we do also have a Facebook group on Facebook. Well, it's a Facebook event. So if you all find event Black Women Made Whole, then you guys can join us in the group, and we're just kind of having some small conversations, but we're trying to get them started. We're always welcome. You're welcome to start a conversation as well within the group, and just share who you are. I saw that someone was saying that they were most looking forward to connecting with other sisters, and that's what these type of events are all about. So we will have a networking hour at the beginning of the event that you guys can just talk and visit the tables and shop with the vendors. We do have vendors. We have quite a few vendors, guys. So please make certain that that you come prepared to support them, or at least to stop by their table and just acknowledge them, because those sort of things are important for us as well, and to get those people back. So I'm just being honest, like hey, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I want everybody to win in this situation.
Yes.
So yeah. And
are they able, really quick, Fancy, I don't mean to cut you off, are they able to share their brands, like links on stories in your group, in your Black Women Made Whole group, or is it just specifically to healing and what they're going through, things of that nature?
They're welcome to share within the group, because you never know what someone may be needing. The whole purpose, of course, this isn't one of our business events, but I still want people to connect. So yes, they're welcome to do that.
Okay, awesome, great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for joining me again. It's been
Thank
a joy.
you.
And I look forward to seeing you on the 15th. I'm certain we'll probably talk in the meantime, but
we will. Thank you so much. You enjoy your evening. Is it afternoon?
You too.
Yeah, enjoy your afternoon.
You do the same.
Bye,
girl. All right, guys. So again, you all can find the Black Women Made Whole group at bit.ly/BW Made Whole. The BW is for Black women, of course, so you guys can find that. And then don't forget to check out Tami and Emmett Dream brand. And again, I'm just going to call these out for those who may be listening, our audio listeners. So it's emmettdream.com. That's IMATDREAM.com, emmettdream.com. And you can find her brand on Instagram at Emmett Dream Brand. That's IMATDREAMBRAND. And then you can find Tami herself at Emmett Dream Girl Tami, IMATDREAMGIRLTAMI. So again, thank you all for tuning in to CEO Chatter Live. I have some interesting guests coming up. Like, I have all of my guests have been interesting, but I have some more interesting guests coming for you guys. And I think they're mostly falling on Mondays right now, but I may have some interviews also on Fridays. Just stay tuned to the page and you'll see the updates about when the next event will be. So thank you all for tuning in. Peace and blessings, and y'all have a great day. And don't forget to register for Black Women Made Whole. It's a free event.